So I'm super excited to show you a very useful feature that was introduced in Excel 2013, and it's called Flash Fill. This is a tool that allows you to enter data that follows a specific pattern. So let's take a look at the example data we have here in our worksheet. So we have a list of individuals, and we have their ID, first name, middle initial, and last name. Now, if you take a look at column E, what we want to do is capture their full name in this column. Now, in previous older versions of Excel, we would have to use text functions to accomplish this. But now that we have Flash Fill, watch what we can do. So I'm just going to select E2 here and then type out the full name. So I'm going to type the middle initial here followed by a period and then the last name. Now, watch what happens when I hit enter and then start typing out the second name. And notice Flash Fill has suddenly activated, and it's showing me a list of all the names in full. In other words, it's detected the pattern that I'm following. Now, if it's correct, at this point I can accept the suggestions by hitting enter. And notice how it's filled that entire column for me. It's fantastic. Now, that's only one way to activate the Flash Fill. I just want to show you two more ways of doing this. So I'm just going to go to my column F here. I'm going to do the same thing here by typing out the first name. And at this point, I'm going to grab the autofill button. In other words, I'm going to place my cursor on that green square in the lower right corner. And I'm just going to drag to the very bottom of the list here. And then I'm going to release. Now remember, autofill will copy the information into the rest of the cells. But what I'm going to do is activate Flash Fill by clicking on my autofill options button right here and then selecting Flash Fill. And notice it's detected the pattern and filled it. So that's our second way of using Flash Fill, and here's our third way. So once again, I'm going to type out the full name. I'm going to hit enter, and then from here I'm going to select that first name, and then I'm going to go to my ribbon and click on data, and from here I'm going to click on Flash Fill. And as you can see, what it does is it fills the rest of that column with the specific pattern. Now, I just want to show you in column H just how powerful Flash Fill can be. So let's say we want to assign a username to our individuals using a combination of their ID and then the first letter from their first name, middle name, and last name. So I'm going to type out that ID number first. I'm going to follow it by a hyphen, and then I'm going to type out the three initials there. So let's see if Flash Fill works when I start typing out the next one. And as you can see, it successfully detected the pattern. So I'm going to accept that by hitting enter. Now, there might be instances where Flash Fill gets activated, but you don't need it. So I just want to show you how you can handle that situation. So let's say you want to type out their nicknames here. So I'll start with the first one. There we go. And then I'm going to start typing out the second one, and notice in this case this is not what we want. So if I want to turn off Flash Fill and continue typing, I can just hit escape on my keyboard. And notice now that list disappears and I can continue typing the nicknames. Now, you may have noticed that in this example we've been joining separate strings of characters to form one full string. But we can do the same for the converse situation. So I want to just demonstrate that in the next example here. So as you can see in this list, we have the full name as well as a member code. So let's say in column C, I want to capture their first name. So in cell C2, I'll type out the first name. And as you can see, when I start typing out the second name, Flash Fill gets activated. It's recognizing the pattern. I can just hit enter at this point. And it should work for last name as well. And there it is. So I'm just going to hit enter to accept that. And let's say in column E here, what I want to do is extract just the digits of that member code. So here I'm just going to type out the first entry, and then let's see if Flash Fill detects it. It certainly does, and then at this point we can hit enter. So I do hope that you use Flash Fill to your advantage when you encounter these particular situations.